After spending plenty of time in Thailand and learning the ropes a lot better than on my first trip, I've put together a list for your listeners, just for fun, of the types of foreigners who show up and end up getting taken for a ride. I'm talking about the blokes who land in Thailand and think the rules from back home don't apply anymore. They see the girls, the cheap beer and the smiles and they just switch off their brains. Next thing you know, they are crying in a bar because some girl they met 2 days ago has cleared out their bank account. Some lose time, some lose money, and some unfortunate guys, they lose everything. If you've been to Thailand before and seen how some guys act with the girls, you've probably thought to yourself, yep, he's going to be her ATM tonight. I've seen loads of people get done over. It happened to me a few times when I started coming here. Nobody is safe from it. It is like a never-ending loop where some blokes keep falling into the same tricks again and again. Most of the time, guys get played because they want to believe in something that just isn't real. So, hopefully by hearing this, you'll spot the red flags before you get stung. Let's begin with the first type of scammable tourist, the bargirl saviour. You will spot this type of farang for sure if you spend any time in Thailand bars in places like Pattaya or Phuket. This guy gets close to a bargirl, buys every word she says, and ends up totally convinced she's different from the rest. He thinks he's found a diamond in the rough, someone who doesn't really want to be there, someone he can pull out of that life and give something better. She's just misunderstood and only he understands her. She has shared her story and her big dreams. All he needs to do now to save her is cover the expenses. He figures if he does that, she'll drop everything and be with him for real. He truly wants to help, so he does. He hands over the cash, takes her out, dates her, keeps sending money when he goes home, and eventually takes her out of the bar by putting up a monthly salary. What he doesn't realise is that salary just fuels her lifestyle, and 9 times out of 10, she keeps working the bar anyway, no matter what she says. Plenty of girls lean into the saviour angle because it's easy. Once they've sold him the better life story and he's hooked on it, it's just about milking him. You do hear a few success stories. Guy falls for a bar girl, they marry, start a family, and everything goes fine. It does happen. But remember, times have changed, especially with social media. Back then, they had to hustle for customers. Now, it's just a swipe of the phone. If you come to Thailand and meet a bar girl that you think is different and you really want to start something, check, double check, and triple check everything and be 100% sure before you jump in. Because at the end of the day, you are not her knight in shining armour, you are her customer. The second the money stops, the fairy tale will end. I don't recommend getting into a relationship with a bar girl anyway, but it happens every day. It rarely works out. The saviour usually learns too late that she didn't want saving, she wanted support. Number 2, the romantic dreamer. This is the type of farang we've all come across before. The romantic dreamer heads to Thailand with an open heart, thinking he's going to meet a Thai girl, fall in love, and they'll ride off into the sunset together. The issue is, these guys wear their heart on their sleeve and instantly become easy targets for the wrong sort of people, the ones that are ready to squeeze as much cash out of them as they can. Within just a couple of days of landing, he's already convinced he's found the one, even though they've only been out a few nights. He's already planning their future after a few drinks, talking about where they will live. Meanwhile, she's just figuring out how much money he's got and how easy it will be to get it from him. He knows next to nothing about her. She knows nothing about him, but she can spot from a mile away that he's an easy catch and simple to fool into believing she's into him. Now, can real love happen in Thailand? For sure. But the girls running scams know exactly who's going to fall for their games, and the romantic dreamer is on the top of that list. Once they realise you've come looking for someone special, they'll hit you with the charm, the affection, or the sweet talk, and promises that will keep you hooked. By the time you are back home, you are convinced you are in a serious relationship with this amazing woman. And what happens next? You guessed it, sending her money while she's already moved on to the next guy. Don't be that guy. It will just leave you with an empty wallet and a broken heart. Sure, it might seem easy to meet a girl in Thailand, and it probably is, but finding a good one, that takes patience and a little bit of effort. Number 3, the divorcee looking for a fresh run. For these guys, it's rough. They show up in Thailand fresh out of a messy divorce. Most of them aren't even thinking straight yet, and they dive straight into the nightlife. Suddenly, they are getting attention from women left, right and centre, attention they didn't get at the end of their marriage. To them, it feels like exactly what they have been missing. He sees Thailand as a clean slate, a chance to find happiness, romance and purpose again. As fun as Thailand is, and as wild as the nightlife can be, it's not the best place to be if you are lonely, down, or not stable emotionally. The bars can eat you up alive, and once they are done, they'll just as quickly spit you back out. That desperate need for affection and wanting to be loved again makes these guys an easy mark for the bargirls and the scammers. Once he opens up about his divorce, the girls start working, throwing compliments, acting supportive, and telling him she'd never let a man like him go. Basically, giving him everything he's been craving. And now, he feels like he's finally found it. He moves too quickly, ignores all the red flags, and puts way too much trust in someone he barely knows. Before long, he's dishing out money, buying gifts, and giving all his time, thinking it'll buy him security and love. But it doesn't. Thailand really can be an amazing place for single men, but I'd say come here with a clear head. It's way too easy to get swept up in feelings when you're here. Number 4, the long distance lover. This one is a bit up for debate. Personally, I think long distance relationships are very tough. Most of the time, either the guy or the girl gets bored of waiting and they move on. But yeah, sometimes they actually do work out fine. For this type though, I'm talking about the guy who comes here for a short trip, maybe 2 weeks, meets a girl, then keeps the relationship going once he's back home. Even though they only spent a couple of weeks together, he's sending her money whenever she asks for it, booking flights and already planning a future. The bloke is on the phone every night, listening to all of her problems. She's always in some drama that needs cash to fix, and he's the only one who can help. He feels needed, like he's her hero back in Thailand. He takes everything she says over the phone as gospel and never questions why she's always broke. Meeting someone on a short holiday isn't really enough time to properly know them or figure out what they are really after. Sure, she could be genuine and mean everything she says, or she could be one of those scammers who runs the same play on every tourist that she meets. If this sounds like you, it's time to dig deeper into the woman you think you are with. Check her socials, dating apps, anything you can get your hands on. Better yet, next time you are in Thailand, show up without telling her. you might just see the scam unfold right in front of your eyes. Number 5. The walking ATM. Scammers and bargirls love this type of farang because he's basically an easy payday. He doesn't want any hassle, so he just pays to keep the peace. Girlfriend wants a new phone? Done. Her brother crashes her bike and needs cash? Sorted. He turns into the answer for every problem, real or fake. Most of the time, these guys are blinded by lust and can't tell what's genuine and what's not. He thinks he's helping out his new girlfriend, but in reality, she's just treating him like an ATM. And once that ATM runs dry, she'll be off to find the next one. As soon as it's clear that he will hand over money without asking questions, the demands will never stop. Eventually, the cash runs out, and so does the attention he used to get. If you come to Thailand and meet a girl, whether in a bar or outside of one, don't turn into a walking ATM. Some of these girls are masters at making you feel sorry for them, and before you know it, you are dishing out way too much money. You will hear every excuse under the sun: sick family members, kids who need food, rent is overdue. You hear the lines so many times that you could finish their sentences for them. Maybe a few of those stories are true, but if you think you are the only guy she's telling them to, you are dreaming. It's like they've got a script, and the longer you hang around the bars, the more times you will hear it. Listen politely, but let it go in one ear and straight out of the other. Number 6. The online data. Here's another kind of farang you've probably heard about. This one usually starts before he's even set foot in Thailand. There are loads of apps made for meeting Thai women, and those apps are crawling with scammers. You are sitting at home in your country. You've heard all the stories about Thai girls and you want to meet one yourself. You can't fly over yet because of work or other life commitments, so the next best option seems to be looking online. Whether it's Facebook, Tinder, or one of the other countless apps, you've still got to be careful. Some girls are upfront and say straight on their profile that they are working and only looking for ST or LT. But plenty of scammers will set up their profiles saying they want something serious, a relationship, marriage, a future, basically anything that makes them seem like a regular girl. Soon enough, the online data is chatting with a girl who's gorgeous, sweet, and saying all the right things. She wants the same things he does, and he's convinced he's hit the jackpot. After a couple of months talking, he books a trip to finally start the relationship. But before he even gets there, she suddenly has problems. Lost her job, can't pay rent, needs food, her kid is sick for the 8th time this month, and she's so clumsy that she has crashed yet another bike. They've never even met, but he's emotionally invested and believes that she's the real deal, so of course, he starts sending money. A lot of the time, she's not even who she says she is. Sometimes, she's not even female. Plenty of online scams are run by teens or fake profiles, and just before he's supposed to fly over, or sometimes right after he lands, she disappears. Deletes the profile, blocks him, gone. That's when he realizes the whole thing was a scam from day one. If you are going to use dating apps before or even while you are in Thailand, you've got to be very careful. Always check who you are really talking to, and no matter how sure you are that she is genuine, make sure to do a video call. It won't guarantee her intentions, but at least you'll know who's actually on the other side of the chat. Number 7. The visa boyfriend. This scam has been around for ages, but it became way more common since the lockdowns a few years back. Scammers figured out it's an easy one to run. Here is how it usually goes. A farang meets a girl, either online or in Thailand, most likely in a bar. They get close, spend time together, maybe even do the whole holiday girlfriend thing. When he heads back home, the relationship continues. He's keen to make it work because he can see a future with her. Because work keeps him from flying back to Thailand, he suggests she come to visit him instead. She's happy with this, super eager about the idea, even dropping hints that she'd love to move to his country and start a new life with him. But more than likely, it's just another way to drain his wallet. She probably has zero intention of leaving Thailand. Why would she, if he's already sending her money? She will say that she needs cash for a passport, an agency fee, and a pile of documents to get things moving. He doesn't stop to think that if she really wanted to be with him, she'd find a way to sort some of the stuff out herself, or at least show him the actual paperwork. The love-struck farang thinks he's helping out with something important, so he pays. Once that money is gone, she'll ask for more, for another paper, another step, another fee. It just keeps going in circles. But the truth is, she's just pocketing all of the cash. There was never any visa in the first place. Eventually, when he starts to realise he's being played and ask questions, she'll either claim the visa was denied, or if she knows that she can't squeeze any more money out of him, she just blocks him altogether. If you ever go through the visa process with a girlfriend, be there for every step. That way, you'll know exactly what is needed, what it costs, and where your money is actually going. Number 8. The shady business dreamer. If you've done any digging in Thailand or heard the stories, you'll know about the horror shows that happens to foreigners who try setting up a business here. Loads of people fall in love with the place and start thinking about living here long term. But how do you do that without an income? That's when the bright idea of starting a business pops up. Usually it's opening a bar, a restaurant, or a guest house with a local partner. He puts in the cash, lets them handle the paperwork, and agrees to put everything in their name, partly to make things simple and partly because the law requires locals to hold the bigger share. Some blokes even go as far as partnering with a bargirl, again thinking she is different, and starting a bar together sounds like a dream, but it doesn't take long before it all goes south. Profits disappear, the partner drifts away, and the whole business ends up being snatched right out from under him. With no real control or proper agreements, he finds out too late that he just bankrolled someone else's dream instead of his own. Starting up in Thailand is nowhere near as easy as it looks, no matter what kind of business it is. The law doesn't exactly favour foreigners, and on top of finding a business idea that actually works, you also need to find a local partner you can genuinely trust. And trust me, both of those things are a lot tougher than they sound. Number 9. The soft touch tipper. Thailand isn't a place where tipping is expected. In fact, if you hand extra cash to a street food vendor, they will often refuse and give it straight back to you. But in the bars, especially with bar girls, that's a whole different story. Tips might not be required, but they're definitely expected. For some reason, certain guys think they are showing off by tipping huge amounts. The soft touch tipper loves being generous, which is fine, but the problem is he doesn't know where to draw the line. He's dropping 5 times the usual tip, buying rounds for the whole bar, and handing out money to anyone who spins him a sob story. It might feel good in the moment, but all it really does is attract the wrong crowd. The leeches who see him as an easy payday and won't let go until he stops spending. Once the word spreads that he's handing out cash, more people appear with their hands out. Suddenly, women who never gave him a second look before are acting interested. Before long, his generosity is being abused. He's getting hit up to cover everything from school costs to sick buffaloes to emergencies for people he's never even met. Yes, enjoy yourself on holiday, but remember, that money could go towards something better. And if you're tipping heavy while bouncing between bars, those little extras add up a lot quicker than you think. Number 10. The drunk tourist. These guys go all out, partying hard, drinking way too much, and love the nights in places like Bangkok and Pattaya. It's a blast in the moment, but it makes them an easy target. They lose their phone, get ripped off, or wake up with their wallet gone. Holiday mode is great, but when you are drunk every night and not paying attention, that's when things go wrong. It's even worse when they get rowdy and start causing trouble with locals or other tourists. That usually ends up badly too. Plenty of nomads, retirees, and other foreigners move to Thailand, and they never really snap out of holiday mode. And it doesn't take long before they burn through their cash and end up heading back home completely broke. A night out in Thailand is unreal, but you've got to have some self-control and know when to call it. If you're staying here long term, that's even more important. Being hammered and clueless in a foreign country is basically asking to get taken advantage of. So yeah, go out, enjoy yourself, have a few drinks, but know your limit. Don't make yourself an easy mark. Number 11. This one is more about the shady tourists and expats you meet during your trip. When you are in Thailand, you will bump into all sorts of people, locals and tourists alike. But just because someone's from your country doesn't mean they are a solid person. Plenty of times, those guys can be just as dodgy as local scammers. One type to be careful of is the bloke who asks to borrow cash, swearing he'll pay it back before you leave. It usually goes like this. You're having a drink in a bar, chatting with another foreigner. He's been around a while, seems to know the ropes, maybe even offers to show you the best bars and introduce you to some girls. Seems like a decent guy, right? But sooner or later, he'll hit you up for money, usually with the same story about problems with his bank or needing a quick loan. What you do with your cash is your call, but I'd steer clear of lending it out. Odds are you will not see it again. Most of the time, these guys are overstayers. They come to Thailand with big plans, but blow all their money in the bars. Instead of heading home, they hang around, scraping by and hoping for handouts. So, your money is yours to do whatever you like with it, but think twice before handing it to anyone you meet in the bar. Number 12. The Thailand is so cheap type of farang. Thailand isn't as cheap as it used to be. These days, a solid night out can easily cost a few $100. It's nowhere near as cheap as people make it sound, and that goes for more than just the bars. This type of guy compares everything to Western prices and thinks he's getting a bargain, even when he's clearly been overcharged. He doesn't bother learning what the local rates are, and he pays whatever's asked without a second thought. Locals catch on quick and realise they can triple their price, and he will still say, "What a deal." But over time, all of those inflated prices, padded bills, and high rents bleed him dry. He's basically walking around with a sign on his back that says, "Charge me more." The taxi drivers, the street vendors, the girls in the bars, they all see him coming. His idea of a good deal is what leaves everyone else shaking their head. Thailand only looks cheap if you know what things really cost. Otherwise, it all adds up fast. And number 13, the trusting guy. When you first visit Thailand, one of the things you'll notice straight away is how friendlier people seem compared to back home. And that's the problem right there. You let your guard down because everyone is so sound. You start thinking you've made 10 new best mates in your first afternoon, but you don't know which ones are actually your mates and which ones are just waiting to see how much is in your wallet. Locals will happily help you out and do whatever they can to make sure you are enjoying yourself. That makes it really easy to trust them. But the truth is, not everyone has got good intentions. The trusting guy assumes that locals are always honest and dependable, forgetting that scammers rely on that exact mindset. That blind trust is what gets people burnt. Whether it's so-called friends vanishing with your cash or a partner slowly draining your bank account, being nice doesn't equal being trustworthy. Trust has to be earned, not handed out just because somebody smiles at you. Plenty of people before you have lost everything here by trusting the wrong person, and plenty more will do exactly the same in the future. Don't let yourself become one of them. So, there you go. Just some of the types of foreigners who come to Thailand and end up getting scammed, whether it's straight away or down the line. Like I said earlier, come here with your head on straight. Don't show up emotional, don't leave your common sense at the airport, and don't trust people too quickly, locals or other foreigners. It's a brilliant country. The food is top, the beaches are unreal, and the people can be some of the soundest you'll ever meet. But you've got to remember it's still a country and not a theme park. It has its share of people trying to make easy money, same as anywhere else. Thailand really is an awesome place to visit. Just don't ruin it by making yourself an easy target for the wrong type of people.